Alright guys, so I just want to explain what's going on real quick before I get to doing this. So I'm at the car wash right now. I'm getting ready to soak this car down and wash it real good. Basically, the car's covered in mud right now, and I had taken it off-roading, and I don't remember bottoming out at all. Like, I really do not remember, like, smacking the bottom of the car onto anything. And, like, I'm pretty sure I would have noticed if I like slammed the front of the car down on something. But the car's leaking oil, and it's leaking oil pretty bad. I don't know if I cracked an oil pan or what I did, but it's about a half a quart it's leaking every like day or so, which is a pretty substantial leak. And I noticed it because I saw a spot in my driveway, but this was like 3 or 4 days ago, and it literally didn't start leaking until last night. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if maybe my drain plug just came loose somehow and that's leaking, or like the O-ring around the drain plug or what, but it's so muddy under the car right now that I literally just can't get under the car to do anything without getting mud all over my face and eyes. And so I'm here. I'm going to soak this car down, clean the mud out from under it, clean this thing out as best as I can, and get home and inspect this thing and see what's going on and see if we can't fix it. Worst case scenario, the oil pan's cracked. I guess it could maybe be worse than that, but worst case scenario, oil pan is cracked, and I think it's about $150 to $200 to get a new one. I saw one for like $78, but it was a no-name brand, and I'd rather just buy an OEM Subaru oil pan. So that's worst case scenario. That's really not a bad thing. And then whenever I do that, I'll just end up getting that drain plug or something. So I'm going to get under here and check out and see what's going on. But like I said, I got to clean this car off first, so let's get to this. Alright, so as you can see, like I said, the car, isn't super clean. Look at the wheels. The wheels are still freaking trashed. But I just wanted to get this cleaned up. This is one of the wheels I got to paint soon. It's curbed. But I just wanted to get rid of most of the mud under the car so that I can get under this thing and look and see what's going on. I was literally on my way home from the car wash. Well, it's dark right now. Hey, bub. It's dark right now, so obviously it's been a little bit, but I had someone all of a sudden hit me up that wanted to swap out trunks. So I'm going to swap out trunks with them, and they're going to take my STI spoiler, and I'm going to get just a regular trunk again. So a couple things are changing with the car soon, and this is just something that I was planning on doing a while ago, and I just haven't really said much about it. But I'm going to clean up this trunk, swap it with this guy. I don't know if I'm going to get under this car tonight or not. If I don't get under the car tonight to check it out, I'll definitely get under it tomorrow and see what's going on. So, alright, I got the trunk off. The guy's not here yet. I'm just going to get under the car quick, see if I can see anything. Okay. Not the oil pan. I'm gonna have to pull this pan off. Alright, it's the next morning. I'm gonna get this thing up in the air. I'm not feeling any better. But let's see how much oil this thing leaked out overnight. It's hard to see. There's two little spots. I'm gonna get this thing up as high as I can. And it sucks I gotta pull this freaking plastic cover off, but I'm gonna pull this cover off, pull the shield out, and try and figure out what the hell's leaking. Alright, to avoid pulling this whole cover down, I'm just pushing this front piece down, and then I'm going to go on the back side, and you can see I can get to those bolts from here. These front side bolts, though, like I said, just so I don't have to pull this whole freaking shield down, I just did it this way. And I'm already seeing all the oil. And I think this is like an oil pan for the turbo. And I think the oil pan for the turbo might be fucked. And if that's the case, that's going to be a bad day. Alright, this shield's off. There's definitely oil all over the shield, which I already saw. Oh, let's see. Okay. Well, let's, I think that's a crack. Right there. Yep, you see it? Wow. That's a tiny crack, too. Okay. So what I did is I bashed this freaking pan, and it wasn't enough to protect the turbo oil pan. So let me figure this out real quick. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just get under there and wipe this thing clean. That way all the oil is cleaned off, and we can find exactly... Oh, my camera just flipped. We can find exactly where it's leaking from. Hopefully. I already know one spot in particular, but I don't know if the rest of this oil is just residual from this spot right here, or if it is coming from anywhere else. So, I'm just going to clean this up to make sure that this stuff is all alright. I do have some oil built up in this bolt hole, but I believe that's just from the rest. Interesting setup. I think this is the first car I've ever seen that has like a separate oil pan for the turbo. But look, immediately you can see that oil coming back out from that crack. So I imagine once the car's on and the car's hot, it's going to come out of that crack a lot faster. If I'm being honest, I don't think this is something that's worth replacing this whole pan for, because I'm going to have to pull the downpipe off. I might... Yeah, I think that's it. I think there's two bolts. One there, and one there. So there. I think it's looking like maybe 4 bolts. Oh, there's one underneath this heat shield here. So 5 bolts in total, maybe, holding this little pan in. And I'm sure I could get a replacement, but I'm going to try and fix this cheap first, because that's such a small crack. I might be able to fix it pretty cheap, just put something together to get it fixed. I'm going to watch this crack up here. As you can see, it's like cracked. I don't know if that's just the finish that's cracked or what the deal is there, but definitely this is the concern, and not as much this. You can immediately see the oil already coming out. So I'm going to walk away from this, come back in like a couple minutes and see what it looks like. And I'm going to see if I can't find some other way to fix this, maybe some JB Weld or something. I know it's not going to be the most effective fix, but it's going to stop the leak until I figure out what I want to do. So I can get a new pan for this, and I most likely will. soon. But for now, you know, I need to drive the car, and rather than just let it keep leaking and, you know, put oil in it every day, you know, I'll just try and patch it for now. So I'll show you guys what I end up doing, and if I find any more leaks and it's anything more than just that spot, then I'll let you know. So just before I put this on the ground to show you guys it is indeed leaking from that spot, there is the perfect trail from the hole. Since the car is lifted up, it's just leaving a trail back to there. Yeah. Hopefully the oil that's leaking out won't compromise the repair. I'm going to clean it up, sand it down, dry it out as best as I can, and put some sort of, you know, metal repair there and see if it doesn't work. Like I said, all I have to lose is a little bit of time and probably $5 to $10. And if I lose it, whatever, lesson learned, and I'll let you guys know how it turns out. Basically, all I have right here is some sandpaper. This is 180 grit sandpaper. I have my JB weld, the water weld. I have the brake parts cleaner right here. And I have some shop towels. The issue now is that the oil is still warm, so it's dripping a lot faster. So I'm actually going to come back. I'm going to let this cool down so the oil flow is a little bit less, and then we'll put the putty on there. Alright guys, it has been 3 full days, and then some, a little bit extra than 3 days, since we checked in on this. I put a white piece of styrofoam underneath the pan, so I could, without crawling under the car, I could see if it dripped any. I haven't seen it drip any. It's been 3 full days. I'm going to clean off this pan, I'm going to put it back up, and I think we're good to roll. For any reason this thing starts leaking, I'll let you know, and I'll probably make a video on replacing that pan, but as long as it's not leaking, I'm probably just going to let it ride out, because even if that does bust open and it starts leaking again, the leak wasn't very bad, so I'll notice it before I lose oil, a lot of oil. So anyways guys, I appreciate you watching, and if you have any questions or comments, go ahead, put them in the comment section, and subscribe if you want to see more of this piece of shit. And until then, see you in the next one.